Welcome to my channel Fizz with Akash Goel. In this video, I'm going to take a problem on fluid mechanics. The problem statement is a liquid of density 2 rho is filled in a cylindrical vessel whose cross-sectional area is 3a. This area is 3a. A wooden cylinder of height h, cross-sectional area a and density rho is floating in the liquid at equilibrium with its axis vertical, as on the figure. Find the minimum work which external agent has to do to pull the cylinder completely out of the liquid. Minimum work means there should be no kinetic energy imparted to this cylinder, or we can say that the net force during pulling should be equal to 0. So at this particular moment, when this cylinder is under equilibrium, it is floating. Its density is half of the density of the liquid. Liquid density is 2 rho and its density is rho. So obviously its half of the volume will be submerged and its half of the length will be submerged. So initially this length which is inside this liquid is going to be h by 2. And at this particular moment, the buoyancy force which is acting in the upward direction and the gravitational force which is acting in the downward direction will be exactly balancing each other. B is equal to mg. So it is floating, it is in equilibrium. When we pull it outside, then the volume submerged will be decreased. And since volume submerged will be decreased, then buoyancy force decreases, weight remains the same. So net force will act in the downward direction. So net force which is acting in the downward direction will be mg minus the buoyancy force at that particular instant, because buoyancy force will change as it is being pulled upward. So work has to be done against this net downward force which is mg minus b. But we have to be careful in this situation, because here we are given the cross-sectional area of cylinder also. So this area is 3a and this cross-sectional area is equal to a. In most of the problems there is no mention of container's area, and in those problems we assume that the container area is very large as compared to the cross-sectional area of the body or object. And in those situations we do not consider the change in level of the liquid itself. But in this particular situation, since area is explicitly mentioned, so we must take into account the change in level of this liquid. So level of the liquid will also change and it will also go up. Obviously level of the liquid will come down and it will go up. So there will be two effects, it is going up and level of the liquid is coming down. To understand these effects better, let us draw another diagram. So I have already drawn the diagram. This is a pre-drawn diagram. In this diagram I have shown the cylinder at some particular instant when it is being pulled by a distance equal to some x. Let me show the distances. Suppose this red line represents the initial position of this cylinder, and suppose from here it moves vertically up by a distance, let's say, equal to x. Suppose it is moving upward by a distance equal to x, and in turn this level of liquid which is here, the level of liquid which is initially here, the level of liquid comes down, let's say, by a distance y. So it goes up by a distance x and the level of the liquid comes down by a distance y from its initial position. So you can see this is the new level of the liquid, and in this region the liquid is not there. Initially liquid was present in this volume, but now the liquid is absent and this liquid is now accommodated in this volume, because in this volume earlier there was no liquid, now there is liquid. So all this liquid and this liquid is occupying this volume now, and obviously these two volumes are equal. So let me equate these two volumes. So cross-sectional area for here and here we can take as 2a, because this is a and this total cross sectional area is 3a. So obviously this liquid is occupying cross sectional area is equal to 2a. So 3a minus a, this is the cross sectional area occupied by this liquid which is now occupying this volume. So 3a minus a multiplied by y, this is the liquid which was earlier here, now this liquid is here. This should be equal to this cross sectional area is equal to a, so this is a multiplied by x. So this is 2ay, this is equal to ax. So this 2y is equal to x, or we can say y is equal to x by 2. So we can say that as this cylinder goes up by a distance x, the level of the liquid comes down by half of that distance, which is x by 2. So this is x and this is x by 2. So overall, on the overall change, we can say that it is going up by distance x and level comes down by x by 2. So the length submerged for a general x will be, earlier initially it was h by 2, now the length submerged, this length, we are concerned with this length to calculate the buoyancy force, because this length will give us the submerged volume. So this is now h by 2 minus 3x by 2. We can easily see this from the diagram. Now just there are two forces, this is mg and this is buoyancy force, and there will be extra force F external. So F external plus buoyancy, this is equal to mg. The forces must balance because we have to find the minimum work, and there should be no acceleration of this cylinder. Cylinder is being pulled slowly out of this container. F external, this is equal to mg minus this buoyancy force. As I said earlier, this external agent has to do work against this force mg minus b, this net downward force. What is the value of mg? Let us calculate this work. Let us calculate mg. Mg is density of this cylinder multiplied by its area of cross section, its height multiplied by g. This is mg. And what is the buoyancy force at this particular instant? This is density of the liquid, which is 2 rho, and volume submerged, this is area A, and this will be h by 2 minus 3x by 2 multiplied by g, and further simplification, rho A, this is h minus 3x into g. So what is F external here? mg minus b. If you do mg minus b, you will find that this rho hg and rho hg will be cancelled, and this will be 3 rho A gx. This will be the net force. We have to find the work done by this net force, and to find the work done we have to put the limit on x. And what is the limit on x? We have to find the work done till it is completely out of this container. So at some particular instant, the portion submerged, or the length or height submerged, is h by 2 minus 3x by 2. Obviously initially x is 0. When x is 0, then the length submerged is simply h by 2, and we want this length submerged or portion submerged to be equal to 0. So obviously x will be h by 3. So this x is equal to h by 3. Or we can say that if it is goes by distance above distance by x and level comes down by x by 2, so at any moment there is a relative motion of this is going up and level is coming down. So total moment is equal to 3x by 2, and this 3x by 2 should be equal to the initial h by 2. So this red line is going up. This red line means the position of the position of the lower portion of the cylinder is going up, and this is coming down, and between these two the distance is equal to h by 2. So this is equal to h by 2, so x is equal to h by 3. So anyway we can find the value of x. So limit of x will be from 0 to h by 3. So let us find the work done by this external force. This is this force 3 rho a g, this will be outside, and x into dx. For dx displacement we can say that the external force almost remains the same, so this almost remains the same for the dx displacement, and this is 0 to h by 3 limit. So this is 3 rho a g, and this h by 3, this is x square by 2, and this 2 will come, and after putting the limits, this is h square by 9, and this 3 and 9 will be cancelled. This will be rho a g h square by 6. So this is the final answer to this problem, rho a g h square by 6. We can also think in different direction also to solve this problem. We find the f external and calculated very well that f external multiplied by dx will be equal to the work done. We can also say that initially mg and b are balancing, there is no net force. Now as I am pulling this cylinder upwards, then there is some net force I have to apply. This f external is some mg minus b. Why we have to apply this external force? Why there is a need of this external force? This external force is exactly due to the change in buoyancy force. Whatever change in buoyancy force, due to this change in buoyancy force, the net force of mg and b is coming downward in the downward direction. So we can directly say the f external must be equal to the change in the buoyancy force. So at any particular instant, this f external is applied because of the change in the buoyancy force. Because buoyancy force is decreasing, so we have to apply a vertical upward force to pull it slowly out of the cylinder. So this f external, directly we can write it is equal to change in buoyancy force. Buoyancy force is changing and we have to apply this external force. So change in buoyancy force, and what is the change in buoyancy force? It is equal to the density of the liquid multiplied by the change in the submerged volume. So we can visualize from the diagram what is the change in the submerged volume. So let us do that. You can see initially this portion of cylinder was in the liquid. Initially this portion was in the liquid. So this portion is no longer in the liquid. So there is a loss in buoyancy due to this. And again, this region, because now this is the new level of the liquid, this is the new level of the liquid, so this region also has lost. So this is not the submerged volume now, this region is, this part is not counted in the submerged part, so this is lost and this is also lost. These two regions are lost. So these two regions are lost, and for this region the volume will be a into x by 2, and for this region the volume will be a into x. So total volume which is lost is a. Here it is x by 2, here it is x, so 3x by 2. This is the total lost volume, and it is responsible for the change in buoyancy force. So we can directly say from here also, this is 3 rho a gx, and here also we found that we have to apply external force equal to this, and basically this is equal to change in buoyancy force, because weight is not changing, the changing force is buoyancy force here. Whatever change in buoyancy force, we have to exactly apply the external force equal to that. So here we can directly find what external force we have to apply at a particular x, and this force multiplied by dx is the work done in a very small displacement, and you have to integrate it from 0 to h by 3, and easily we can find the work done.